It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. Well, my longtime friend in here, Ryan Strubel. Ryan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Nick. How you doing?
Good. Now, I was thinking back when I asked you about coming in here. I think the first time I met you, you were about 14 or 15, I
think so, yeah.
And you introduced me to some strange things here because I kind of thought, I'd sit around the house and stuff, and I kind of got, this kid's kind of goofy. I don't know what's going on here. Well, it was because you were doing Beavis and Butthead all the time, and I didn't know who Beavis and Butthead was, but, you were imitating him all the time.
It was great, right? And now they're back, right?
They are,
back,
yeah.
And they're hilarious as ever. They're funny.
So you were, like I say, you were 14 or 15, and how old are you now?
47.
47?
Yeah,
I've known
47.
you that long?
You've known me that long. Yes, 47.
Wow.
How old does that make you, Nick?
It makes me older than 47, I'm going to tell you that. Well, I had no idea. Yeah, well, you also introduced me to Jerry Springer, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what is with this kid?
What else do you do late at night?
Yeah, and you would stay up all night watching Jerry Springer or whatever. And
Jerry beats, right? You got to get your Jerry beats. I think when we first met, I was about 17 going in. I was about to go into the Coast Guard, so I was a little bit older, getting out of high school. So,
maybe. I don't know.
17.
I know you were going into the Coast Guard later on, but I don't remember. Yeah,
maybe about 15, 16. Yeah, so.
I didn't know if you were old enough to drive yet or not. I know your brother was old enough to drive. But, Wow. So do you still follow Beavis and Butthead and Jerry Springer?
No Jerry Springer for me. I think I wrote my last check. That was a joke if you know about Jerry Springer.
Yeah, if you know about Jerry Springer.
I wrote my last check for Jerry Springer. I think he's still on, but gosh darn it. But Beavis and Butthead will always be near and dear to your heart.
Dear to your heart.
Yeah.
Why I remember that, I don't know. But I'm like, what is wrong with this kid?
They were hilarious, right?
You're walking around doing this all the time. I'm thinking you thought you were having a seizure or something all the time.
I was.
Ryan Strubel in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Ryan Strubel. Am I saying your last name correctly?
That is correct. It's just a great German name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pueblo, Southern Colorado German name. Yeah, absolutely.
Strubel. Did they call you Strudel back in school or anything?
Nick, that's the first time I've heard that. No, absolutely they did. Cherry, apple, it was.
Apple strudel. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, man, I thought I was being original.
Gosh darn it.
And you ruin it for me. Ruin it for me. No. Ryan Strubel in here today. Oh, we were talking about, when we first met and you were late teenager, whatever age you were. But I was thinking you weren't driving yet, but you may have been.
Actually, I think when my mom started to work, I think that's correct. I think that would have been right. Yeah, 14 or 15.
Yeah, you weren't 15. Driving yet. Yeah,
just a lifeguard. Funny story. I was like a lifeguard at City Park Pool, and I was younger in school, and I couldn't drive. So my parents felt really bad, because I was in that cutoff in the school.
Right.
Couldn't drive, so they bought me a scooter. So I was like the original, scooter running around town.
Oh, really?
Running from El Camino down to the City Park Pool to lifeguard. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, and you did that for quite a while, right?
Yeah, I lifeguarded all the way through college, or into college. Yeah, going into the Coast Guard.
My son was doing that for a while. He really enjoyed it too.
When they call you David Hasselhoff, it's time to quit.
It's time to quit because you're getting into that upper.
It's getting kind of creepy.
So you mentioned the Coast Guard a couple of times. Tell me about that deal.
Yeah, so just was in the Coast Guard. I think I signed up at 17. Went to the Coast Guard. Got out. Went to college. Started at.
Did you go up here, or where did you go to school?
I went to PCC. I started at PCC, and then I believe I graduated and went to Metro State for 1 year, and then came back. Had a daughter and came back.
Awesome.
And went to I was USC at the time. And now at CSUP.
Well, see, we kind of lost track of each other a little bit in there, but then when Facebook came back out, I'm like,
it's like I see you every day.
Oh yeah, right? Like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a good thing.
But Coast Guard, that had to be kind of a cool thing.
It was kind of a cool thing. Just a couple of years of my life, and back to back to school, and that was pretty much it. Yeah.
So I know now you're kind of in the title business and some things like that. Is that what you went through PCC for, or what were you going to PCC for?
You know, I went to PCC and CSUP for. I have a degree in criminology, psychology, and I believe I can't even remember what my minor was in, PR maybe something like that. Thought I was going to be a cop. Thought I was going to go and be in law enforcement. So one day, a gal stepped on my doorstep and said, "I think you'd be a great title and escrow rep." And I said, "I have no idea
what is a title and escrow rep?"
What does that mean? And then said, "Well, if there's good paycheck in there for me,
sign me
I'll
up.
do anything you want to do, because I don't want to sit in a police car for 10-hour shifts every day."
Right.
So absolutely. So started that and took off with that, and let's see, worked for that company for a few years, and then I think I've been in the title and escrow business for probably 32 years now.
32 years?
32 years, yeah. I think 27 with one company. So
wow.
It was crazy, yeah.
Wow. Well, we're going to talk about some of that a little bit later on here, but
absolutely.
A little different than what you originally thought.
Yeah, totally out of the park, right?
I'll be darned. Ryan Strubel in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend Ryan Strubel in here today. We haven't seen each other for a long time, but I know, thinking back, you were a ZZ Top fan, weren't you?
Huge. I am the ZZ Top fan.
Are you really? Where's
Absolutely.
your beard and all that, man?
Yeah, I got it tucked in my shirt.
Do you
that's
really?
the Billy Gibbons way, right?
It
is.
is.
The shirt tucked in, or is it tucked down?
Yeah, and then he buttons it up, and you don't know
that's
he's
right.
got that big beard. But, so you still are a ZZ Top fan.
Absolutely. I was home for the Coast Guard, and I thought, ZZ Top was coming to McNichols Arena, and they had opened McNichols Arena, and they said, "We're closing McNichols Arena. We're going to tear it down for the new Broncos Stadium." So I thought we better go see him.
Right.
So we go see him, and I thought it'd be the last time we saw him. Well, I've seen him like 14 times. they're
Those guys are old,
Stones,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, so.
Well, that's kind of, I did that with the Stones. I mean, I went to see the Stones like 20 years ago thinking this could be it.
Right.
And they're still going.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, they're still going. I tell my friends the story. I think probably I love the ZZ Top, but I think, you being friends with Billy Gibbons was probably the icing of the cake for me. I tell my friends the story all the time about how he'd come in and, he'd tuck his beard in and you'd walk him around
the fairgrounds and some stuff, yeah.
Or they had a Sunday, what was it on a Sunday?
Oh, they used to have a flea market outside.
On Sunday.
Flea market outside.
He'd buy his wife. He wanted to buy his wife a gift.
Yeah.
So he tuck his beard in and bought her an ashtray.
Yes.
Did you tell that story to me? I tell my
it's like $5, and he's beating the guy up. The guy wanted like $7.
He's going to give him $5. He had to get his wife something everywhere he went. Billy Gibbons.
And we took him to the 2 and 9 bar and had lunch.
Oh man, yeah. I tell my friends that story my wife that story every time. My girlfriend that story every time I go see the.
Wait, your wife, your girlfriend? I mean, at the same time?
Not at the same time.
All right. Well, I'm
been married
just
a few
asking.
times,
Yeah.
Nick. So been married a few times. So.
Well, there you go. But yeah, the ZZ Top, man, and they're still out there rocking. Even though Dusty Hill, I thought when Dusty passed away, the ZZ Top would be, well, that's it. We've got enough money. We're done.
Oh, they had him replaced, almost immediately.
Yeah, and they've not really lost him. You've seen him since. Dusty's been gone?
Twice. I've seen him twice. We were going to run down, I think they're in Lubbock next month. I think we were going to run down to Lubbock to see him. And then, they're coming to, I think, either Red Rocks or Fiddler's Green with Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
This summer. So that's definitely on the list.
That's on the to-do list, huh?
Yeah. I got the Police. I think I'm going to run and see him next month, and then ZZ Top. So those
you don't let any grass grow then?
No, not at all. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, there's a picture. You see that picture of me and Billy right there at my house?
I've seen that picture, when I was a kid. So, yeah I remember. Looking at this at this radio station, I kind of grew up here.
Yeah.
From about 14 or 15 on,
right,
back in the day. So, yeah.
It's a little different now.
A little bit. There's not as many people here.
No.
COVID kind of, as we
talked. I used to have like 35 people in here, and now we have 2.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
I remember
time.
it was, with the country when it was taking off in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Mid 90s, probably early 90s, mid 90s, and it just took off.
Yeah, Garth Brooks kicked it.
Holy moly. I remember seeing Garth Brooks for free.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, she told me, she said, "Hey, I've got one ticket. You have to sit alone, And then I said, how much was that ticket? I think she said it was like $300. Like, wow, Mom, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm not a Garth Brooks fan in any way. I wonder if they'll sing any ZZ Top. But yeah, it was a great show. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good times. That would have been mid 90s or early 90s or something.
Yeah,
there.
92, I think. Yeah, and then saw him for free, and then got to pay $300 to see him.
All balanced out at 150.
Right.
So I get a figure.
We'll split it at 150.
Yeah, Ryan Strubel in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Ryan Strubel. We've been friends for a couple of years here, I would say.
I think a couple decades now.
Yeah, I think about 30 years now that I think about it. But
That's right.
I still can't believe you're 37 because you look young.
47.
47, but because you look young.
But I'll go for 37.
But, your family, as we've talked before, your mom looks young, your grandfather looks young, your grandmother looked young. You got lucky genes, buddy.
I believe so. I'm sticking with it. I'm good with it. I saw my mom this weekend. Took her to the new Shazam movie for her birthday. And gosh darn it, she looks as great as ever. So
yeah,
I'm going with it. My grandfather too. Just looks young, and so.
You remind me a lot of your grandfather. I got to tell you.
I've heard that before. LG. Yeah. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah. He was like a John Wayne kind of dude, though.
Exactly. Yeah, he was exactly like John Wayne. A little taller, but exactly. Yeah. Grew up, owned an elk conservation ranch, owned a cattle ranch inherited a cattle ranch and turned it into an elk conservation ranch. So,
wow.
Yeah, he was John Wayne to me, and he was mean and his tough. I mean, it's a bit about how we learned how to swim, throwing us into the pond there and saying, now he can swim.
Yeah.
But that was LG. Spent a lot of summers with my dad. He was a principal in Durango. But my grandfather was like my dad while my dad was away, right?
Right.
As my parents were split. But yeah, he was kind of my dad Monday through Friday, during the school year. So yeah, a lot of fun.
How much trouble did you give him?
No, we didn't. You didn't give LG
didn't give LG any trouble.
You didn't give
I was going to say
any trouble because John Wayne was nicer than my grandfather growing up. Growing up on a cattle ranch was probably. We're extremely, extremely blessed, right? And now we turned it into a elk conservation ranch. So
and you still have this place, right, up by Salida, kind of,
up in Howard. So extremely blessed. But learned. I'm kind of a chameleon. I've been told. You go up and you're a cattle rancher. You
turn into a cowboy there. You turn into
you're a businessman in town.
Well, I was telling Ben, who works here, I says when Ryan shows up, I says. He may show up in a suit and tie, and he may show up with no pants. I said, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I have them on, if you're listening. I do have pants on.
He has pants on and kind of a suit, but no tie. But
it's really funny.
What's your shirt?
It's a police shirt.
The police shirt,
Japanese
that's what I thought,
Yeah, so it's funny, being a lifeguard for so many years, I in the day, I teach lessons, and, I taught half the town how to swim, pretty much, So as a young kid, and then so we'd go to dinner later at night, and they'd say, oh, Ryan, it's you. And I'd be with my mom and my stepdad at the time, and they'd say, oh, Ryan, it's you. I didn't recognize you with your clothes on. And I'd be like, Mom, I'm in a swimsuit all day.
She'd buy that, would she?
She bought it. Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan Strubel in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95. She didn't buy it, I know that. 95.5. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My longtime friend in here, Ryan Strubel and we're talking rock and roll, talking all kinds of stuff. We've been, reminiscing a little bit here. But your very first concert, who'd you go see?
I judge a man.
Can you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. I judge a man by his first man or woman by their first concert.
Really?
Right? Yeah. Was it the Partridge Family? Was it?
The Osmonds.
The Osmonds was Neil Diamond. So my stepdad at the time, great guy, Dennis Carey. He's a realtor.
I know Dennis.
Realtor here in town. Great guy, super nice guy. He took my brother and I, and we went to see Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
A little classic rockish then.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Like I was taken back. I was like, what is that smell? It smells like a skunk in here. I'm like,
and how old were you think?
Like 11. I think I was like 10. Second concert ever. Right? Second concert right after that takes us to go see Allman Brothers open for Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Wow.
Second concert ever.
Wow.
So I think I was
a little touch of classic rock.
Classic rock, right?
Yeah.
So, it was over for me.
Yeah, and so it's just been an addiction since then,
absolutely
basically.
Bought and sold. So ZZ Top Legs, came out, and it was like,
yeah, the Eliminator.
done.
Well, MTV, that was in the heart of MTV
Yeah, it was
in those early days,
Right, it just had been taking off at that time, and you either ran with it like ZZ Top did,
yeah,
or
and those videos are still so much fun when you watch those videos. Not just ZZ Top, but a bunch of those videos, Huey Lewis and the News, and some of that stuff. Those videos were just awesome.
Yeah, I'll just put them on YouTube and on the TV.
Yeah,
and just let MTV play. That's the old way to do it, right?
Right. Back when MTV
Yeah,
played
if you put
music.
MTV on now, it's like, my mom always said, she'd say, turn that off. It'd be like Road Rules or Real World on. That was really the way they went to. And my mom said, turn that off. Those kids they just put those kids in a room to argue. Turn that off. That's ridiculous.
And they're still doing it today with everything.
Yeah, it's like number 11.
Yeah,
ticking it on the road. It's
ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, well, the guy that is our CEO of iHeartRadio, he's the guy that started MTV.
Oh, wow.
That's the kind of foresight, that he has on things like that, which is kind of interesting.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew
how big that was going to be? Yeah.
24 hours a day. It was amazing.
Music television.
Music television. Yeah.
It
was awesome.
Yeah. So Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Allman Brothers.
Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble.
Man, good stuff. Ryan Strubel in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in Ryan Strubel this morning here. And thinking back about some of the things we've known each other for, over 30 years, it seems like, I guess. Now that I think about it, I can't believe you're at the age you are. You were just a little boy. You're still kind of a little boy,
still
but
am.
you're just,
Right. I'm a 12-year-old boy in a 47-year-old man's body.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, with a good paycheck. I'm now dangerous, right?
Yeah, now you can do whatever, which is crazy. I see some of the stuff you do on Facebook. You live life. I got to give you credit.
That's
true. You do a lot of fun. Do a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people have kind of a list, right? A bucket list.
Like bucket list, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I was married for a little while, and didn't get to do a lot. Raising little kids. And,
right.
life goes,
and rightfully so.
Right. And I literally pretty much have an elk conservation ranch, right? So it was kind of crazy, but I had a bucket list of the things I wanted to do, and got a divorce, and was like, well, my bucket list is before I get married again, because I want to do some things, travel the world, hunt all over the world, do things like that.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you hunt a lot of stuff. You do a lot of hunting.
Absolutely,
anyway.
Yeah. So it really started, obviously coming from the elk ranch that we have. So that's where I really learned how to pretty much hunt, and turkey and elk, and having them, it was pretty much.
They were just natural on that ranch,
just natural,
right?
Yeah. So an elk conservation ranch is not like a high fence area, but it's just an easement, because we have so much land and so much open land.
That's what I was going to say. Your ranch isn't like 10 acres.
No,
it's like thousands
it's huge.
or something.
Thousands of acres. So,
yeah.
Just the state of Colorado says, hey, just don't build on it, don't break it up, don't parcel it out, just let the elk come and go. You can have, cattle, and you can make money from, agricultural, you can make money from hay, stuff like that. And so, that's where we really learned how to do it. And it just took off from there. And so I hunted a lot of things just that were on the ranch.
Right.
That, I never really traveled a lot. So after I got divorced, I said, well, I really wanted to do some things. I wanted to hunt things that I never was able to hunt that were on my ranch. So there were several things, like we didn't have antelope on the ranch. We didn't have boar on the ranch. We didn't have, we had some bear. We didn't have grizzly bears or anything, like that. So I wanted to travel around and be able to do some of those things. So a buddy of mine, and I went down to Texas one time. Troy Hanneberg, he's a great guy out of Canyon City. He and I are buddies, and we went to Oklahoma, I believe, and we went boar hunting, and we shot like 2 Fish and Game records just on accident. Like one was like 600 pounds, the other one was like 500 pounds. They were huge. Like,
did you eat them? Did you eat those?
Yeah, absolutely. They taste. The bigger ones taste like a wet boot. It was horrible, but we ate them, So, but we got to do it, and it was a lot of fun. Now, just accidentally hunting and shooting and
well, accidentally hunting doesn't sound real good to me.
We were hunting, but we accidentally shot. You'd normally shoot little piglets that you would have. You'd shoot piglets, and you have baby back ribs or stuff
right.
like
I got you.
But we shoot these like 600-pound boars, and people thought I knew where they were at the time, and I said, well, they're out in Texas and Oklahoma. They thought I knew, and they said, well, let's would you take us out there?
So would you be a guide?
Yeah, would you be a guide? So got guide license, and I got a guide insurance, and said, well, if I did it, I'm sure I could do it again. So I think I've done it 15 more times.
You're kidding.
I take buddies out all the time. I got another one coming up. I'm taking my doctor out in like June, and all trophy boar hunting. Yeah, they're like 600 pounds. Usually between 350 and 600 pounds.
How do you get a 600-pound boar out into your truck or whatever?
How do you carry it out?
Yeah.
After you shoot it?
Yeah.
Well, you need a big winch on the front of your truck. So that's
or a four-wheeler or something.
Or four-wheeler, yeah.
Wow.
And you drag them to where you can hang them, and then you process them. And it's a lot of fun.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah, they got like 11-inch tusk, 12-inch tusk.
Really?
Yeah, wetters.
And they're mean too.
Cutters on them. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they'll kill you. Yeah. A week before I went out, I was out in Texas, and they were talking about they had a fight for life, a father and son out, and the son shot one and went right between the father's legs and got him into his artery really bad.
Oh man!
Life for life to mount. Yeah, they're mean. I mean, they just want to kill you, and that makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, sounds like
that makes it a lot more fun. But yeah, so
more challenging. That's
yeah.
For sure.
So then just protect. Just really practicing, and I make my own bullets, I make my own everything, and
So you're a tour, you're a hunting guide.
Yeah, unless it's on the ranch, I don't do any guiding on the ranch. That's for family only, and So yeah, absolutely.
Ryan Strubel, I'm learning all kinds of things about you. Ryan Strubel on a Friends Friday here at KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My longtime friend Ryan Strubel in here today. It's great catching up with you, but and these stories from the past and that I can relate because it's funny stuff, man. What do you do now? You said you were doing something with titles.
Absolutely.
Car titles, or what do you do?
When I got the job, I thought, title? What? I don't even understand. What am I doing? Car title? Yeah. So. Yeah, so I have an indemnity license. So
is that a good thing?
Yeah, it's a good thing.
All right,
yeah. So
okay.
What an indemnity license does is it protects you, you and your home from the past. Like casualty insurance protects you against the future. We protect you against the things that happened in the past. So a lot of people, when they buy a home, buy their first home. Most people will buy a home, and they'll come to a title and escrow company, and they use title and escrow services. So that's pretty much what I do.
So you guarantee them that whatever's wrong with the home,
marketable title. Yeah, the people selling are the ones who sell, and the people buying are the ones who buying, and they have the ability to protect it, fix it, enjoy it, and their heirs to enjoy it also. And we protect the ability.
And what you had said was that was kind of an accident you got into because some guy's wife asked if you needed a job, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I said, I don't know what that is. They said, well, you've got a great personality for it. You'll sell it. We'll do all the work. You know a lot of people, and you know how to talk. You have the gift of gab, and we'll teach you how to do it. And so I ran with it and became. I went all the way in my career. It was really funny. I probably one of the most successful title and escrow reps in Colorado.
Really,
so, was a sales manager, I think, at 26. Sales
wow.
manager at 26. I had a region before I was 30, and that was like Pueblo, Huerfano County, and Canyon City.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Canyon, right? I'm from
so
my family's from Florence and Canyon. Yeah. So people are like, "Oh, nobody wants to go down there." I said, "I'm from the Briar Patch. You can't bother me." I said, "I love it. Those people, I've got commercial buildings down there right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?" I said, I love it. I'm proud of that place. These kids from Colorado Springs are saying, "Yeah, we don't really want to go to Fremont County." I love it. I'm from there.
Well, sure.
From Pueblo. So we rocked it out.
Do you go to the Al Cigar store when you're in Fremont County?
I was there last week.
You dog.
Was there last week. It was wonderful.
Oh, it always is.
Triple with cheese. So, but then all the way up to this, I went all the way to encompass Southern Colorado, and then I went to all of Colorado for the last 3 years of my career, and was a sales manager, and just started as, hey, do you know what title and escrow is? I'd love for you to be a title and escrow sales rep. And so, yeah, so now we've opened our own title and escrow company.
Oh, you got your own place now.
Yeah, I'm the director of sales and marketing, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to make a title and escrow company for real estate professionals by real estate professionals. So that's really the whole
kind of made a custom thing the way you want.
behind it, right?
Wow.
So some of the problems that we had, we wanted to make sure that we didn't have any of those, and the things that we wanted, we put it on a piece of paper and said, this is what we want, this is what we don't want. And Principal Title was exactly that model.
Wow.
And it's Principal Title is a virtual title company that closes in all 64 counties in Colorado, and no other title company.
So you don't have a brick and mortar building, so to speak?
I do have a few brick and mortars, but I'm not held back by them. I don't have huge, I don't have the huge boxes that a lot of the other ones do have.
Right.
That way I can work in all 64 counties where they cannot. So if you call another title company, you say, hey, can you work in La Junta, or can you work in Lamar? Can you work in Lyman? Can you get out to Grand Junction? They'll tell you that they have a sister company out there, and they really don't. They just have another title company. They refer it out, and then they get a little bit of referral.
But in your case, you can, if somebody in Lyman needs something, you can go to Lyman and do it.
Absolutely, I'm boots on ground. So
I'll be darned.
And we close in the realtor, in the lender's office. So we go wherever you need us to go.
Do it all at the same time, kind of thing.
I think 16 traveling closers.
Wow.
And we close either in the customer's home, we'll close in a bank, we'll close the lender, we'll close in the realtor's office, wherever they want to close. So it's all about the customer and customer service. So
interesting stuff.
It's totally unheard of. So we're the
And
first
what's the name
of
the place again?
Principal Title and Escrow.
Principal Title and Escrow. Huh.
Yep, absolutely.
I'll be darned. Well, I appreciate you coming in. What's left on that bucket list that you got there?
Let's see. I think I've done them all too many times.
For some reason, I think I know that. For some reason, I thought that.
The bucket list is gone. And I think that was 3 wives ago.
Okay. All right. Well, Ryan Strubel in here on a Friends Friday. Thank you so much for taking time coming over here and doing this. It's fun catching up with you, man.
Absolutely.
It's KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.